Adambre, just a little more on the question of seeking justice that you asked. I will insist that justice will be served. I cannot, now that the internet keeps breaking, I have to use this opportunity to mention the plight of the people of Karamoja that are being bombarded and, for lack of a better word, massacred right now. Now, this is a mineral-rich region in Uganda where people are being killed with no accountability. Following the warning by Museveni's son, who said he's going to take hell to them. And oh yes, he went ahead and took hell to them. Not forgetting to mention a similar, massacre that was carried out a few years ago in Rwenzori. All these things that are happening, you can be sure justice will be served. For all the women that are being raped, for all the people that are being tortured and massacred on the orders of Museveni and his son, there will be justice. You all know that Thomas Sankara was murdered in 1987. Justice took long, but like we have been eloquently told by the great Dr. Martin Luther King, that the arch of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. Justice might not be served today, but sure as day follows night, justice will be served. So I wanted to assert that justice will be served, and we should wait for that justice. It will surely be served soon or later. Now, talking about Uganda.
Before you go to that question, are there indications giving you a clear picture that there will be a justice anytime soon, or maybe in the nearby future? Are there indications to tell you that?
Well, there are indications everywhere. History shows us. History shows us, and even just, a few days or weeks ago, that Blaise Compaoré, who is largely believed to have masterminded the assassination of the great Thomas Sankara, was convicted, Nobody expected that when Blaise Compaoré was still president of Burkina Faso. He was as, confident as Yoweri Museveni until justice knocked on his door. I'm looking forward to a day when you interview me again about the arrest and conviction of Yoweri Museveni. I will put on a very beautiful tie and I will speak a lot of English, reminding you that I told you that one day justice will be served. That is a day when I will sip my water and thank God for justice that will have been served. So going to your question,
Let's move to your vision.
Yeah, if you let me. Like many other people, I envision a free and democratic Uganda where all citizens are equal before and under the law, where we have free, happy, and productive citizens.
So, in terms of the rule of law under your administration, how do you intend to have the rule of law where citizens will be rights will be protected, and what you continue to complain about happening to the people of Uganda will not happen to them? Let's look at just the rule of law under your government, were you to be the president of Uganda.
I don't want to, look at myself as the solution individually. I do not believe in presidential directives. I don't believe in the big man mentality, because that is what has crippled Africa for the longest time. I believe in empowering institutions, because institutions are stronger than individuals and they are more durable and they surpass human greed and human weaknesses. That is the kind of country I want to lead. In a country where even the president is answerable. So it shouldn't be me to supervise how the law is being implemented. It is the institutions, independent and moral, that should do that. It shouldn't depend on the president.
And so what system will you put in place to allow such to happen?
First, respectable and powerful institutions. When the judiciary is not influenced by the executive. You have the rule of law, where the parliament is not in the pocket of the president. You have the rule of law, where the police is where the police is doing its job of guarding people and their property. You have the rule of law. You have a happy country where the military is not playing politics and abducting opponents of the regime, but guarding citizens and their borders and the sovereignty of the country. You have a happy country where corruption is zero. You have a happy country. It shouldn't be rocket science.
Let's talk about your tour. We followed you recent from the ending of last year. You've been having some other international trips. Do you care to share with us what has been some of the engagements? What are some of the engagements telling you as to your ambition for the presidency?
Well, my tours are not about my ambition for the presidency. Actually, even this interview should not be about my ambitions for the presidency. Nothing that I do should be about my ambitions for the presidency. It should be about the ambitions for freedom, for everybody to be free and enjoy their rights unequivocally and untampered with. So my tours in the West have been to call out on the international community and hold them accountable for their actions and inactions. And those that I was blessed with the opportunity to address, I told them that if they cannot help us fight against the dictatorships and oppression in Uganda, they should not be, they should not be funding our oppression. You realize that Uganda is heavily indebted, and we are indebted because General Museveni borrows money, which money is, the majority of which is lost in patronage and corruption. Unfortunately, at the end of it, it is us, our children, our grandchildren and great-grandchildren that are going to pay that money. It is estimated that it is going to take more than 90 years for Uganda to pay off its national debt, which national debt cannot be juxtaposed with the development that it has been put to. Most of the money is stolen and the investments are made abroad because the dictatorship here knows that they finally fall, and therefore they are trying to set a comfortable fallback position, of course at the cost of the people of Uganda. So my engagement with the international community is to call them out, is to remind them that countries that treat dictators as legitimate trading partners and business partners are actually complicit in their crimes. They should be holding Uganda, to the same standards of human rights as the European countries. If it was a European leader who massacres people on the street, there wouldn't be presidents the following day. Today, we are all focusing on Ukraine. And rightly so, we stand with Ukraine. We sympathize with the bombardment and the raid on Ukraine. It's unjust, it's uncalled for. But the same thing is happening in Africa. And the international community should condemn the Museveni dictatorship, just like they're condemning Putin. Museveni raided the Congo a few years ago, and just over a month ago, the International Court of Justice condemned us to paying more than $200 million to the Congo because of plunder, rape, murder, and all the atrocities that the Ugandan military carried out in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Museveni should be held personally accountable for that, not Ugandan taxpayers.
Let's look at reconciliation, because there has been a lot of issues in the country. Reconciliation is very important, and the political actors like you got a major role to play in this entire process. How do you put aside your differences and unite the country?
First of all, I am not a political actor.
Are you not a politician?
Not an actor. And I take words literally, you know. I'm not acting it, it is real. All right?
Okay.
Thank you. I'll speak to the reconciliation. My brother, it is not a difference between me and Museveni. I was on the 4 years ago when Museveni took over our country violently. I'm now 40 years. I'm just another of the many victims of this mess that Museveni created. It is not a difference between me and him. We just want to be free. And when we are free, we have no problem with him. However, I will also hasten to add that justice must be served. We must walk away from this business of having dictators murder people, plunder their countries for decades, and then later say, oh, let's have reconciliation. It's not about me. It's about the people of Uganda that have been killed, whose loved ones have been abducted, never be to be seen again, whose lands have been grabbed, and all that.
So who should take the lead here? You said you or the president?
I'm the president.
Is the president supposed to be the one that would take the lead for reconciliation?
Reconciliation should begin with justice. There should be justice. There should be truth. And that's why most of these committees, these commissions are across the world after dictatorships, after the fall of oppressive regimes, are called truth and reconciliation. You have to begin with truth. You cannot reconcile about something that you've not owned up. You know, there should be justice. And if justice is served, then people's hearts can come together. We live in a deeply divided country. Which country we have to reunite and move forward as a nation. I am very glad that the people of Uganda are largely united, except for a few that benefit from the oppression, the plunder, and the dictatorship. But the majority of the people of Uganda, you know, are hopeful, and they want to work together, and they love each other. So if we can only break free from the dictatorship of General Museveni, Ugandans are largely people that are easy to unify.
Are you still optimistic of becoming the president of Uganda?
I am the president of Uganda.
How are you the president?
Because I was elected. The majority of the people of Uganda call me, address me, and treat me like the president. We have a leadership of the people, and we have a junta. So General Museveni is a military junta president, and I am the president of the people of Uganda.
So this could sound so interesting. If you are claiming to be the president of Uganda and you have President Museveni, what is your own government budget in terms of your operations? Do you have a budget?
We certainly don't have. I am the president that does not have as slight as freedom. But I mean, if I have the mandate that the people of Uganda entrusted me with, I walk with my head high. But certainly, we do not have the state. We are under captivity. However, that does not remove the fact that I was elected by the people of Uganda.
Will you still contest in upcoming elections, or you think that once President Museveni is into elections, you have no reasons to contest because you have a belief that election will be, at the end of the day, a compromise or something unfair results coming up?
Well, who knows whether we shall even ever have presidential elections, because as we speak right now, after what General Museveni had to do to secure himself in the presidential seat, he is proposing to scrap presidential elections because he knows that he cannot run in a presidential election and win. So there is a proposal in Uganda to take away the right of the people of Uganda, from the people of Uganda, of electing their own president. And that is the situation right now. So don't be surprised when one day General Museveni wakes up and says no more elections in Uganda, and he announces a presidential monarch, like it seems to be in the offing. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. As of now, we are concentrating every day to ensure that Museveni's regime falls as soon as now.
Okay, let me woo you, Bobi Wine, the head of the National Unity Party in Uganda, the main opposition political